When do we use IV dextrose solutions, and what do you need to know about them as a nursing student? If you haven't watched my previous video on what dextrose solutions actually do in the body, make sure you watch that because you need to know it. The one sentence summary is that these two solutions are isotonic in the bag, but they become hypotonic in the body. So when do you use them? This is why the Silver Bullet study system is so useful, because you can think through the processes of literally any question they could throw at you on a test and be able to evaluate if it would be a good situation for these dextrose solutions, versus simply trying to memorize every single possible condition you would ever use it for, which is impossible. So let's think it through together. Dextrose is glucose. Why would we want to give people glucose? Well, if they have low blood sugar, like hypoglycemia, then glucose can be really helpful. But what are going to be some common sense nursing considerations with that? Well, you got to think about what might have caused the hypoglycemia in the first place. And if they're diabetic, they're still not going to be able to move that glucose effectively from the IV solution into their blood cells unless you also give them insulin. Another maybe surprising example to you of when dextrose solutions might be a good option is actually hypokalemia, high potassium. That's because under normal situations, so step 1 of the Silver Bullet study system, potassium also gets moved into the cell with glucose when insulin acts. It's just one of the normal things that happens. So if you have a state of high potassium and you flood the body with dextrose, then under normal situations, the body is going to produce a bunch of extra insulin, start processing that dextrose and getting it into cells, and some of that excess potassium is going to move inside the cells with it. Now that's not a long-term solution, because as the dextrose and the blood sugar goes down, then that potassium is going to move back out of the cells. But in an urgent situation where the potassium is way too high, it can be a quick fix, at least while we're figuring out the long-term strategy. I could give you some other examples, but here's what you need to know if you're a nursing student. Dextrose solutions are a little bit beyond what you need to know as a safe, effective beginning nurse. So while it is super important to be familiar with them and to understand how they work inside the body, do not waste your study time beyond that, because you've got better things to do with your time, like your family, maybe your job. And I can help you with those too in my VIP tutoring membership so that you can keep a healthy life-school balance while you're on your nursing journey. Link in bio.